So I saw a movie today. It's called In the Tall Grass, and I have no idea how to talk about this movie because it makes no sense. What's up, guys, and welcome to Movie and Point. It's my review of the Netflix original movie In the Tall Grass. It's based off the short story magazine article from Stephen King and Joe Hill, and it's directed by Vincenzo Natali and stars Liza de Oliveira, Avery Whitted, Harrison Gilbertson, Will Buie Jr., and Patrick Wilson. So, like I said in my intro, this movie is as infuriating as it gets. I love Stephen King to death. This story seemed more interesting on paper in the article, but Vincenzo Natali's story of this couple or this brother and sister who are going across country to basically give away a baby for adoption, at least that's what I gathered from it. They stop. It's basically a pit stop. They make a pit stop and they make it across from this big field, and there's a church across the street. And they hear this kid yelling for help. The kid is named Tobin, is played by Will Buie Jr. And they go into this field. They basically decide they're going to go help this kid because, any normal person would do that. And so they go in there, and as these things do in a Stephen King story, they get lost in this tall grass thing and they get separated from one another. And then they find Tobin. One of them finds Tobin, one of them finds the Patrick Wilson character, and things happen. And the story kind of ends right there with these two characters. The main female, the Liza de Oliveira character, is attacked, and that's the end of that story, as I think it is. Well, we get this character played by Harrison Gilbertson, who plays Travis. He knows the couple that disappeared in the beginning. He finds their car, he goes into the tall grass because he hears the voices, and he gets lost like the rest of them. Well, he finds the couple, they're supposedly dead, blah, 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 and he loses all hope. Well, then we kind of flash back to the church, and we see the Patrick Wilson character, we see Tobin, we see the mom, and they hear Travis's voice. So what do? They go into the tall grass, and we get our story of how things are being manipulated and things are happening. And boy, I was kind of interested in this movie because I like stories like this. I like stories of supernatural, of zaniness, using tall grass as kind of like an evil entity, using a big rock as an evil entity. But the structure of this movie is so infuriating, so disarming in what it's trying to do, that the subject matter and the horrifying nature of it gets lost in translation.
It does not make sense.
And I don't even understand how this movie was made. I don't know what the script was going on. I don't know if Vincenzo Natali had like an interesting script that got lost in the editing bay. I don't know what happened, but Patrick Wilson in this movie is laughable. Everybody is laughable in this movie. I feel bad for this kid, Will Buie Jr. He's laughable in this movie. Everybody is just terrible. The things that start happening in this movie, it just doesn't make any sense. There's no rhyme or reason behind it. And it's one of the worst Stephen King adaptations I've seen in a long time. I mean, this is so bad. And it's just so frustrating because, if you can nail down a Stephen King adaptation and do it well, then you have hit pay dirt, because Stephen King is very good about letting people use his material and make it into interesting subject matter. He is in this renaissance right now where people are taking all kinds of his properties and either remaking them or redoing them or doing original properties. I heard 1922 was really good. You have Dr. Sleep coming out, which I'm really excited for. But what is the point of this movie? There is no logic point to this movie. It's just about grass and a rock and, possession or whatever it is. And I don't recommend this movie to anyone because it's so stupid. I hate this movie. I hate it so very much. And Vincenzo Natali is known for doing stuff like Cube and Splice. Cube is one of my favorite horror films of the last 25 years. But this movie has no direction. It has no path. It has no pacing. It has nothing that really sets this film apart. And maybe I'll be the only one that thinks this way, but this movie is one of the worst things I've seen this year. It goes right up with Rim of the World, with a movie that has a lot of potential, but it's just not well put together, and there's nothing fun about it. And the fact that Patrick Wilson is in this movie that's how upset I am. Is there's no reason he should be in this movie. There's no reason anybody should be in this movie. These actors should be. I guess they're doing it for pay or whatever, but you know they're doing it to be in a Stephen King novel. But this is just bad on bad sake. I don't recommend it to anyone. Like I said, there's just nothing redeeming about it. You know, it should be interesting. You know, tall grass, spirituality, whatever you want to call it. Look at Children of the Corn. They took that and made it creepy. That's all I'm gonna say about it. I can't talk about this movie anymore. There's my review for In the Tall Grass. It's a movie that sucks, and I will never watch it again. Netflix, stop making these movies. Stop giving people money for these movies. If you're gonna give money to people, give it to Martin Scorsese for making another Irishman movie or something like that. But this movie, no, I don't recommend it. It's gonna be in my top 10 worst of the year. So, but there you go. That's my take of it into the tall grass or into the grass or into the crap fest, whatever you want to call it. If you like this movie, comment below. I don't hate you for liking the movie. Tell me why you liked it. Tell me if I'm missing something about this movie. If you're something I didn't get, you know, that's fine. Tell me. I'd be happy to know. If you don't like this movie, thank God. But otherwise, as always, subscribe to my channel, join Movie Emporium. I have much more positive reviews. Hit the notification bell to find out what's coming next. And of course, comment below on any video that you watch. But otherwise, that'll do it. Thank God. We'll see you guys later on the next video. Peace out. What's up, guys? Thank you so much for checking out Movie Emporium. I really appreciate it. If you want to, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification button and the bell at the top. Find out what's coming next for Movie Emporium. Also, check out these 2 videos. They're amazing. I think they're awesome. I think you'll enjoy them too. But otherwise, thank you so much for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.